Hey, what is up, guys? Lyndon here, and today I just want to walk you through the process of creating a contact property, a customized contact property in your contact record that does not traditionally exist. Now, why would you want to do that? Because every business is a little bit different, right? If it is that I run a legal entity, right, and I want to get some specific information that is on a contact record, but it's traditionally not within the CRM, how do I go about doing that? Well, we really want to make sure that you don't move back into using Excel or also going back into writing it down in a book. So you have the ability within the CRM to create customized properties. If it is, let's say, for instance, I sold a customer a piece of equipment, let's say, for instance, a copier, and I want to know what model copier was sold to the customer, then initially, if it is I were to go into this Lyndon Bradford contact record here, it doesn't really show up, right? So what it is that we want is that we want as much information. Remember, customer CRM is customer relationship management. And to be able to manage the relationship, we must have a lot of information about that customer as possible. So the customer would have purchased a piece of equipment, but they do not currently exist on this side. Or as someone recently asked me as to if it is that they can actually zone, like if they can zone the customer so that they can also have that maybe factor into relation to their sales team if the customer is a new lead. Yes, you can actually do that. So let me take you straight into doing this. So this is a quick recap. This here is your contact record on the left with all of the information that you have standard. The center is really your customer timeline. And of course, to the right is all respective information along the lines of deals, tickets, attachments, and really respective companies that my customer might want to work with. Now, where exactly would you be going to put in this specific piece of information that you need to have for your company to service this customer properly? Well, down to the bottom here, you will say view all properties. And once you see this here, you can actually now click on this, and this will then take you into a field that gives you a little bit more information about the customer and the contact record. Now, this may say Lyndon Bradford, but once you do this, you're really setting this up for everyone else. Now, if you look further down to the left here, you will notice that it says first name, last name. So this is first name, last name, email, phone number, contact information, or contact owner. And the contact owner is really which salesperson is handling or service-related person is handling this account, right? So what is it you're looking for in the respect of territory or piece of equipment does not currently exist. So we know that we need to create it. One of the things that you have here also is that you have groupings. So you have 4 standard groupings. And within each grouping, you have 81 properties. Now remember, we're creating a property that's going to fall into a group. So based upon what that property is, that property could be some contact information, it could be email information, it could be web information, and it could be conversion information. However, you can also create your own grouping. Let's say, for instance, you want to have equipment information, and you can create your own grouping that factors in there as well. And I'll show you how to do that in a subsequent video. Right? If it is that you look to the side, if you click to the side of it and it drops down, you're going to realize that within this contact grouping, there are 81 properties. And within these 81 properties, there's a number of different things: annual revenue, associated deals, whatever. But we are looking for territory. So we're going to, first thing first, always search to see if what it is that you want to create already exists, because you don't want to be duplicating the wheel, right? So we're looking for territory, and you don't have to type in the correct name. You can just, the entire thing, you can just type in the first 3 or 4 or 5 letters that make up the word, and it would immediately search for it. In this instance, it does not exist, right? So what is it that you do from here? Well, of course, you have to now create that contact property. So you click on create contact property, and you will see a list of things that's coming up here. I would not go into these today. I'll go into these in a subsequent video. And you go straight across here that says create property. So when you go to create property, it's now going to bring up something from the right-hand side, and it's going to ask you, it's going to guide you through some bits of information. So it's going to be object type. So what type of information is this here? This is contact information, company information, deal or ticket information. Remember, you're looking at information for the client about whether it's a individual or a company, what deal is this associated with, and if it's a ticket for service. In this instance, we were looking at it as contact information. You must also now associate that with a specific group. Now, remember I said you can create your own group, but for the sake of this example, we are sticking with the 4 standard groups that we have, which is contact information, right? And then, of course, you want to give it a name. So we're going to call it territory. RITY. Excuse my spelling. I know I'm not very good at spelling. I was never really good at spelling. And description, location, and whatever TAT. Yeah. Right. Whatever description you want to give it. So this here now says location of customer. We have territory. We have customer information, and from there we are ready to go. So now we will be creating this as a territory. Now you want to select a field. Now it's asking you here if you want this to show up in forms. Now this is really up to you, because if it is that you have this tied in, if it is this type of information you want to have also tied into your website, you can definitely have this show up in your form. So when the customer is filling out the information, it's one less bit of information they have to go back and ask the customer for. So you can definitely leave this in. And for the sake of this example, I'm going to leave it in there, right? So we're going to have, you have a number of different options. Now you can type it in where you have north, south, east, west, or multiple lines of text if it is based upon how large it is, well, how much information that is that you need. But what I would want, what my suggestion is, based upon the information type, like, okay, if it is that we're sticking with territory, or if it is that you're sticking with equipment, you can actually list out all the models of the equipment that you have, and you can just scroll through and choose and click. That's always easier. Right? Or let's say, for instance, in relation to territory, you will see that when you click on the drop-down selection, it means that all you have to do now is add what this is. So let's say, for instance, you want to put north, right? And you go to another option. You have south. So we're sticking with territory in this one. We have east. And then you also have here, you have west, right? So this would actually now be an option that falls into the category of territory. Once you're happy with this, and again, remember, if we were using it from the standpoint of equipment, you would also put whatever model of equipment. Was it there? Was it a printer, a copier, a car? Again, it's general information that you would like to have about the customer, right? And once you have that, you create your property, right? So what do we do now? Well, what we should be doing is that we want to now go back to our contact. And as we go back to our contact, we will see that we still have one more step to do. So we're going back into the Lyndon Bradford contact. And it still doesn't show up here. So we need to have the territory field show up here. So what do we do now? We just go into our territory. We go into our property creation field, and we type in territory. Remember, we didn't have this before, and boom, it shows up right there. Right now, we want this to show up on the left-hand side. So when you see this come up, you would have add to your view, and as it adds to your view, you can then choose wherever this customer is. Wherever you want this property, you can choose where you would like it to reside. In this instance, I'm just putting it as third, and then we go back into the actual contact record. And you will see that specific property showing up now on your left. So what we would have just done is that we would have just created a customized property, right? Put it on the left-hand side. And now it falls right within the bits of information that we need. And it's defaulting to east. But when you click on it, you see that you can choose wherever you want this customer to reside. And whatever information that you make, and you click save. And from now on, what would happen is that every time that you create a contact, that bit of information is now going to be required, right? So let's see. If it is I'm creating a contact and I put in my email, well, right, let's just say, for instance, I go with a different email. If you notice, territory now shows up here, and I can choose which territory, what's the lead status. So everything that I needed to have in my contact record initially is now here because I would have created the respective property. All right. So that's it, guys. I hope this information was helpful for you all. Let me know if you have any more information or any more questions, and I'll definitely try to answer it. I'll do a video to help you guys, visualize it better. Or feel free to reach out to me, and I'll maybe do a one-on-one with you all to guide you, as it relates to how you're setting up the CRM to structure your business. But after you do this once, you're definitely not going to have a problem in terms of doing it again. All right. Take care. Peace. Thanks for watching.